This year, 2021, we had several large-scale home improvement projects scheduled. We wanted a garage/workshop built. We also wanted about 60 square meters, or 600 square feet, of pavers put in, and our truck path out back needed to be covered with about a foot of topsoil and planted with new grass. After the other projects were completed, and the backyard access for trucks was no longer needed. I had my contractor quote the garage and the pavers, and I would take care of the landscaping. By the way, I've had 2 contractors I've used since we came, one to take care of completing all of the interior work, and one to complete all of the outside work. The work was supposed to start in mid-April. Of this we were assured and reassured. I had spent all winter accumulating the funds needed to pay for this project and was anxious to have it all done. Our foundation was put in last fall. I spent the month of March watching and waiting for the snow to melt off the foundation and the floor. I watched and waited every day, and waited, and watched, and waited, until finally the snow was gone by early April. I was happy to get a call from my contractor letting me know that our aerated concrete blocks would be arriving the next day from a different city. The blocks were available locally also, but the quality from another city's factory were much higher, so I paid the extra shipping to get these. When the delivery truck arrived, it was not able to get into my backyard through my truck gate without causing some damage to my newly planted lawn, and having to drive over a good section of it, which I was not into. So we got around this by having the delivery truck drive onto the adjacent empty lot and having a rented crane unload the blocks over our fence onto the foundation where they would be needed. It was nice to finally see materials arrive. Hi, I'm going to shoot this portion in my kitchen. It's kind of a little narrative, a little monologue, because the kitchen has better lighting, and I'm not going to rig up other lights, but it's a little bit more echoey, so I apologize in advance for that. Well, let's get back to speaking about the blocks. Okay, the technical term for the blocks we used for part of the construction of our garage are AAC blocks, which stand for autoclaved aerated concrete. These blocks are strong and lightweight, weighing about 1/3 the weight of regular concrete blocks. The thousands of closed-pore trapped air bubbles within the blocks help give them a great insulating value. My house and garage are both built using these blocks. Then both house and garage have an air gap and then brick on the exterior, so that when you look at the buildings, you see the brick. But the wall thickness is about 50 centimeters or 20 inches due to these blocks. Okay, rather than just speak about these aerated concrete blocks, let me show you what they look like prior to installation and after installation. Here I have a pile of extra blocks left over from the garage. You can see that they're quite smooth and homogeneous. They are full of air bubbles inside. You can see maybe some of the pores here. The air bubbles give them a great insulation value and makes them very light, like 1/3 of the weight of a regular concrete block of this size. It's considered a green building material, being fabricated from all natural ingredients. When you're using these things, when you're building with them, you cut them using just a regular handsaw with carbide teeth. They're joined using a special mortar or even a special foam glue. It looks like that foam insulation in a can. Let me lay my glasses down here, another pair, and give you an idea of scale. So there you are. These blocks are fairly big. They're not small. Yeah, they're easily handled by one person, no problem, all day long. And like I said, they're cut using like a handsaw. It just has carbide teeth on it, that's all. I don't know if you can see this clearly. Well, I think you probably can. But I'm trying to show how thick the walls are in my home using brick on the exterior. You can see the brown brick there. And aerated concrete blocks inside of these. You know, it's adjacent to the interior. I've left my glasses there just for some scale. Now this is very typical for Russian residential construction. There's no wood at all there. None used in that construction. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer even again. Scale of the glasses. The following figures may seem a bit meaningless, but here they are anyhow. I use natural gas to heat my home. My costs during the coldest months of my Russian winter are about $60 a month for my heat. And that actually includes my heat, my hot water, plus my cooking. These are all done by gas. Yeah, I mean, of course, here the prices for natural gas are less, perhaps significantly than what you are paying. But before our house, we had an apartment which was about 750 square feet or 73 square meters. Our gas costs for only heating, not hot water, not cooking, were about $75 a month, even though our house now is about 165 square meters or about 1,800 square feet. In other words, our house is more than twice the size that our apartment was, yet our heating costs are less, and gas has gone up in these several years since we lived in the apartment. Hi, I just want to do a short video here. If you see all the boxes here, don't worry, it's not going to be some crazy unboxing video, although it might be something similar. Anyhow, the name of my channel is An American in Russia, and when you're in another country, sometimes it's more difficult to get the things that you need. So what I've learned to do is, here in Russia, there are two things that are my friend. One of them is Google Translate. The second is an online shopping company called Ozone. You can see their boxes here, more or less. Something funny about many Russian companies, actually their name is in English, although here Ozone is spelled O-Z-O-N. But anyhow, I mean they're in English letters. So first let's see, I order a lot of things through them, a lot. And let's see what, I'll be able to look at a few things I've bought and explain why I have to get them online. Let's see, my first box, it's nothing very exciting. It's relish. And it's not that you can't buy relish anywhere in Russia. You can, but it's hit or miss. It's hard to find what I call relish. And I buy it not because we like eat hot dogs till they're coming out of our ears or something, but we do like seafood, and I make tartar sauce with relish. So that's a good thing. And my family has discovered they love relish. They put it on sandwiches, all kinds of other things. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so I've got a 4-package of Q-tips. They're actually Johnson & Johnson's Q-tips for babies, I guess. I buy these online, and I buy these rather than get them at the store, because when I first came here, which was almost 20 years ago, when you bought a Q-tip here, not Q-tip brand, but just a cotton swab, it was like a piece of a spider web around a Q-tip. It was that comfortable. I mean, around a toothpick, it was that comfortable. There's like no cotton and sharp stick, horrible, horrible stuff. So now you can buy, they have some brands that are much better than they used to be, of course. But I just stick with the old Johnson & Johnson, and it's only available here online. You can't buy it in a store. Not a big deal, but you have to clean your ears. And you should clean your ears. Let's see what else I've got here. Okay, I've got a couple boxes of gold honey nut flakes. Now you can buy these at the store, and this is a familiar brand for Westerners. Here it's made by Nestle, and Nestle has factories within Russia. So the price is not bad. By the way, yeah, on the video I'll be showing the prices of each of these on the screen, how much I pay for them here. I buy these because it's just convenient. My daughters like cereal in the morning for breakfast, and it's more convenient for me to buy these things and have them delivered and just forget about it. Now I have to buy them at the store and never really have to run out. Plus, the same thing, I put a notice on it where when it goes on sale, I get a reminder by email, and that's when I buy them, when they're on sale. And the last box I got, yeah, all of these things, by the way, just were boxes that came over the last couple of days. I ordered quite a few things from them. I don't really live near stores, and I don't drive here, so this is the easiest way for me. Now this is weird. Okay, this is just a box of 100 dishwashing tablets. I don't know why, well, I do know why I bought them. Okay, I bought them because we use them in the dishwasher. They're cheaper. And I noticed this brand on Ozone, where they're having a sale on it. It was really cheap. And I saw the name. It said Frau Schmidt. Ooh, sounds like German technology, you know, BMW, Mercedes, Frau Schmidt. And I'll find out, I guess. I'm trying to quickly look to see if I can see where it actually comes from. Yeah, it actually comes from Germany. So I thought I would try it against the brand that I've been using, and because the price was also fantastic. Well, anyhow, that's just kind of I'm not going to call it an unboxing. I hate that word. It's just showing you a few of the things that I order online. I order lots of things online, and I'll probably make that a regular part of my videos. Well, anyhow, that's enough about shopping, I think, for this part of the video, for this section. So thank you for hearing me through. Bye. After the blocks were delivered, I asked when the bricks would be coming, and the answer I got was, well, let's say a little bit evasive. April ended. May began, and by mid-May I was getting a bit worried about when things would start. It was then that I was told about what was going on. Some of it I already had figured out, but some was news to me. But as usual, is there nothing that COVID can't do? Well, the availability of bricks and mortar, well, this wasn't a problem because these are all made locally. But the crew that my contractor agreed with 2 months earlier to do all the brickwork, that was now the problem. Let me go back a little to explain things. During the COVID year of 2020, Russia started cracking down a lot on illegal immigrants and also work visas. I recall seeing pictures of thousands of Uzbeks who were basically trapped at the airports here in Moscow. Seems that Uzbekistan was in no hurry to have their people return, and flights were very infrequent. Uzbekistan has many migrants who come to Russia to do manual work because it pays more than Uzbekistan. But don't misunderstand me. Uzbekistan also has tons of highly educated people. But right now, I'm just speaking about the economic migrants. Anyhow, Russia, for fear of spreading COVID more quickly, wanted to send economic migrants home. And besides, they were on a lockdown, so most building sites were shut down. What do you do with these people during that time? The main problem, though, is that here in Russia, the Uzbeks are heavily involved in the construction sector. They work hard, they do good work, and they do it for a reasonable price. This causes all of the construction costs in Russia to be lower. Otherwise, the Russians in the business wouldn't be able to compete with the Uzbeks. Okay, back to my situation. Well, it was now 2021. The Uzbeks were back in Uzbekistan, and the Russian workers decided that they were worthy of a 30% raise in their rates. And that's regardless of whether they had previously agreed to a price or not, because now there are also many fewer people available to do these jobs, and it was a workers' market. Let's call it a yay, yay, Uzbeks are gone, competition's gone raise. So the reasons for my delays were because I no longer had a crew to do the blocks and the bricks. Without getting into too much painful detail, I ended up agreeing to the extra 30% cost of labor. Because think about it, labor costs are about half of your costs when you're building. And we're talking about labor costs on the aspect of the brick. That's not my whole project, that's part of my project. So we're talking about really a 15% increase in that portion of my project. So I agreed to that, but now the contractor had to find another crew. To make a long story short, he found a crew, although they failed to show up on the agreed upon date. And shortly after, found another crew that ended up doing my project. In addition to this, the cost of wood needed to frame my roof went up more than 100%, and the same with the steel needed to, to make my metal roof. Costs were going up daily, and I just wanted to get things purchased and get people working. Anyhow, the bricks and mortar were scheduled for delivery in 10 days. And the bricklayers were scheduled to start work in 2 weeks. Things were finally coming together, and we finally had some concrete dates. I was happy. But then, the unthinkable happened.